Hi there, hope you are well. It is a lovely, beautiful day here today. So sunny and everything is blooming. It is a wonderful spring day. So yeah, I thought I would bring you outside for a bit of this video. And in my last video, we talked about pursuing a slow and creative life. I shared my journey, long journey of pursuing that I have been on for a couple of years. So after I posted that video, I had a lot of conversations with different creatives about the fact that this journey towards creative dreams, towards life changes, is so long. It is a long journey, and it requires a lot of determination and patience and a long-term strategy, not just running on inspiration, because you're gonna run out of it and want to stop if you're only running on inspiration. So yeah, today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how we pursue those long-term changes, how we can keep going, and how we can see that our everyday things that we do in our creative work are moving us towards the bigger dreams and bigger changes that we may want to make. So yeah, that is what I want to talk about today here in the beautiful spring weather.
We're in a state of hope. Honey, you are my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come.
We humans actually aren't that great at thinking long term. Just look at climate change and humanity's struggle with dealing with that. So when we're thinking long term, we tend to get overwhelmed, we tend to get stressed, and we tend to get impatient. But these things are long-term things like dreams, big projects we want to do, life changes we want to make. This doesn't happen fast. It takes time to do these things. And we need to have a long-term perspective on it. We need to bring in that patience and see that this will take time, and it's okay that it takes time. And to go along with that, we need a long-term strategy, because these things also doesn't happen by themselves. You won't just magically stand there one day and say, oh, look, it happened. So we need to be working towards this long term. So to do this, to start with this, I think we start by getting clear on, okay, what is it we're moving towards? What is the direction? So my direction has been my slow and creative lifestyle, to have that and to be able to do that sustainably. So that is my long-term direction. And then we need to pair that with a strategy, a long-term strategy, to know what we're going to do to make that possible. So my strategy then to my direction is to build a slow and creative business that can sustain me full-time and give me an income that is sustainable long-term as well. So that is my long-term strategy. So if you, for example, are writing, you want to be a published author, for example, that is your long-term direction. Then your long-term strategy is to write books, to learn how to write books, and maybe you will write multiple books before you will reach that direction. If you, for example, want to move to the countryside, but you have a job that you can't do in the countryside, then maybe you need to switch careers and educate yourself to do something else. So the thing with long-term strategy is that it's something that is likely going to take you at least a couple of years to do, at least 1 year. It's not something that you do in a couple of months, and it's not long-term. So yeah, to know what we're moving towards and how we're going to get there, that is the first step when we are thinking long-term. And I'm also going to say that I have a free worksheet that you can download to go along with this video if you want to, just to give you an overview to explore this and see what your strategy looks like.
I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise, that with you I feel alive. You will be the last one to think about.
So when you have your long-term direction, you have your long-term strategy, that sort of top-level view of, okay, what you're trying to do here, what you're trying to accomplish to get to those dreams, to get to that vision that you have. Then we can start to envision the journey towards there. So as we know, we can't take this in one huge step. We can't just reach from where we are now all the way over to, okay, here's the dream, here's the goal, here's your ultimate direction. We need to see that this is a journey towards where we are, from where we are now towards that place. And that is a journey that will have a lot of adventures, a lot of joy, a lot of different twists and turns in the way towards that. So what we do here is that we try to identify a journey and set different milestones. So this is a way to see that, yes, it's a long journey, but there are many smaller parts that make up that longer journey. And you can work towards something for a long time, but still be working towards something that is a little bit closer, that is a little bit easier to grasp and easier to envision you actually getting there. So in building my slow and creative life, this has been, I'm still in this journey and I'm still working towards future milestones. So when I had identified that, okay, a slow and creative business could help me do this, then the first milestone was just to start the business. And then after that, the next milestone was to have my Fridays off my job to work on the business. And then I had that. And after that was what I'm doing now, my 6-month leap to turn my business into something that I can sustain me full time. So I have saved up money and I'm working towards that in this 6-month leap. So when the 6-month leap is done, hopefully I am reaching the next milestone of having a business that can sort of short-term-ish sustain me. It gives me basic income, but maybe it won't give me as much savings as I would like. That is sort of more the long-term sustainable level that will be the next milestone. So I view this as sort of like stairs. So you can get up on one and then you can start to work towards getting up on the next one and getting up on the next one. So if you, for example, if your ultimate goal is to be a published author, then maybe the first step is just to explore a book idea or to read a lot of books about writing. And then you start work on a first draft, and then finishing the first draft is a milestone, and then the next draft, and then eventually to send your manuscripts to agents or publishers depending on where you live. And then you can start thinking about, okay, getting it published. And maybe it will be multiple books before you get to that point. The journey is long and we need the milestones to see the different parts of the journey. And also to enjoy each of those parts. See that each of those parts can be enjoyable for you. And to see that it's not just something you have to endure to get to a point where you are living your dream. You're at that, you're making that life change that you may want to make. But you are enjoying the journey every step of the way. Every part of the journey, every milestone is something that you are enjoying and is bringing you fulfillment. And that is very important because that is how we keep going towards big long-term dreams. We don't do it because we ultimately want something. We're doing it because we're enjoying the journey as well. And that is so important.
We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong?
So when we know our milestones, then we know what we're working towards more short term. We know what we are moving towards, what our closest step is. And even that short term can be a long journey. It can be months or a year maybe. But we know more what we're working towards. And we can focus on that and not worry about the next steps. If you're working on a draft of a book, for example, you don't have to worry about the next draft. You just focus on the one you're in. And then we can pair our milestone with a milestone strategy. So we're breaking down it further here. So in my case, I am in my 6-month leap. I am moving towards a monthly sort of short-term sustainable income. And my strategy towards that, to make that happen, is to focus on coaching and to focus on growing my business. That is my two things that my strategy consists of. So when you're thinking milestone, then think about what will help me get to my closest milestone. What is my strategy to get there? Not worrying about the next steps.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. Honey, you are my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way.
And then finally, we arrive down to the level of the work we're actually doing, our day-to-day creative work and the things that we actually do. So when I said that to get my next milestone of focusing on coaching and growing my business, then we break it down to the things that I'm actually doing to do that. So with coaching, for example, I talk more about my coaching so people know that I'm coaching. I make videos like this one that sort of demonstrates how I can help people in their creative journeys as a coach. I have little coaching campaigns to give people a reason to buy coaching. And with growing my business, I am pitching to podcasts, pitching to magazines. I'm making YouTube videos now and then that there's more likely to show up in search. So yeah, all the little things we do to sort of get us towards that next milestone that is on the level of the actual creative work that we do. Then we have sort of broken it down all the way down. And here's where it also becomes very important that you find joy in this creative work. And not just do it because you feel like you have to, not just do it because it's something you should do, but to find a strategy that you really enjoy doing and a strategy that works for you. So on this level, I also think that sometimes we think that our work is bad when it really is our strategy that isn't working for us. So let's say, for example, you're an artist, you have an art shop, and your strategy to get people to buy your art is to post on Instagram. For example, you have an Instagram account, you post on with some hashtags, and it's not getting the traction that you would like it to have. You're not getting a lot of customers through that. And maybe it's that the strategy really isn't working. Maybe your art is wonderful, but you're not reaching the right people through your Instagram account. So either we can give up on it too early. We want things to happen quicker than they do. This, again, coming back to patience and coming back to allowing things to take time. That is one thing, to give it time and give it energy. So that is one thing. And the other thing is that maybe it's the wrong strategy for you. So I think sometimes we blame our own creative work and the value of our creative work and say it's not good enough, when really it's the strategy that needs to change, not the work itself. So now that we're circled all the way back down here, I think it is so easy for us to get impatient with long-term dreams and life changes we want to make and want things to happen faster than they do. I think that is so very common. And the sort of boring reality is that we just have to break it down and make sure that the small things we're doing is moving us slowly closer to that reality that we want. That project finished, that creative dream, that goal, that life change. It takes time, and it's okay that it takes time. That is what slow living teaches us as well, that take it one step at a time, don't rush, don't be impatient with it, just give it time and it will fall into place. Before we go, I'm also going to say that I'm now taking on more creative coaching clients, so check out my packages if you are interested in that. I'll leave the links down below, and also check out that free worksheet that I have made to go along with this video to explore your strategy all the way from the top one to the things you're actually doing. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, hello and welcome, and I will see you in the next video.